What's up guys, and Funape here, and I actually I saw this video a little while ago made by someone called TrueGreen7, and I actually thought that this was actually a brilliant YouTube video idea. I know it may sound a little strange because most people all consider like Pokemon, there's just nothing more than digital codes, but to me, I am a true Pokemon fan, so I personally see a Pokemon a lot more than just a few numbers, like a few ones and zeros in a digital world and a digital game. So if you feel the same way as I do, let me know down in the comment section below, because I hope I'm not the only person who feels this way. I'm actually going to go over my top 10 Pokemon that I have an attachment to. Like, this is kind of a bit of like a emotional attachment, because all 10 of these Pokemon actually have a really deep backstory to them. A really deep backstory to why I have a personal attachment to them. It's just so wide and so varied. Like, I'm sure everybody has some sort of story on why they like a certain Pokemon. So if you do like a certain Pokemon, and if there's any Pokemon that you have an attachment to, let me know down in the comment section below. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and stay in tune to see all of the 10 Pokemon I have an attachment to. Let me know if you have an attachment to any of the Pokemon shown on this list, and if you have your own top 10 Pokemon that you have a personal attachment to, let me know down in the comment section below. So without further ado, let's get into the video. At number 10, we have Luxray. Now, if you didn't notice about me, before I ever bought a Pokemon game, I was attached to the Pokemon anime, specifically a Diamond and Pearl. And I actually watched Season 11, I can't remember the actual name of it. I think it was Diamond and Pearl Battles and Mentions, possibly? But still, I loved that anime. It was so good to watch. And I actually remember one episode where this little girl, who basically looks like a younger version of Officer Jenny, had a Luxray. And the first time I ever saw it, I was like, oh my god, that is cool. So, I really wanted to own a Luxray. And before I ever owned a Pokemon game, I actually pretended that I actually owned a Luxray, like a bit of like an imaginary friend sort of thing. Keep in mind, I was a kid, so I know it's a little cringe, but I was a kid. You can't blame me for that. And then the first time I ever played Pokemon Pearl, which is the first game that I got that was based in the Sinnoh region, I actually managed to go through all these games, and the first Pokemon that I caught was a Shinx. Yeah, I actually managed to capture a Shinx because I thought, hey, that looks like a baby Luxray. Maybe it has the potential to evolve into a Luxray. Because I didn't know like what Pokemon evolved into what, and like how they evolved, but I was a bit of a novice back then. So I caught the Shinx and kept my fingers crossed that it evolved into a Luxio and then a Luxray. And thankfully, it did. And it actually became one of my favourite Pokemon to use ever. I love Luxray so much that in my recent playthrough of a Mega Ruby, I actually swapped my main Electric for a Luxray because I wanted to use a Luxray to see how powerful it can be in the Pokemon League and against Wallace. And that was probably the best decision I ever made, because Luxray swept through loads and loads of Pokemon. And I gotta say, it was really, really fun to use. I really loved using Luxray from the past, the present, and I'm probably going to enjoy it in the future, because Luxray is an OP Pokemon in the games. It has an awesome design, and I also think that it deserves a brand new Mega Evolution, even though I'm fairly certain Mega Evolutions are never going to be a thing again. But, keeping my fingers crossed that if they do make a Gen 4 remake for the Nintendo Switch, they will bring back Mega Evolutions and hopefully give us a Mega Luxray. At number 9, we have Umbreon. As I said earlier, when I was younger, I didn't know what Pokemon evolved from what and how they evolved. So, I didn't know that Glaceon, Umbreon, and Espeon and such actually evolved from Eevee. Because I didn't know at the time what an Eevee was. I got into Pokemon late. Please don't judge me. But still, I loved watching these Pokemon Chronicles that I got on DVD. They were actually really, really fun. And I found out that Gary had an Umbreon. And I was literally happy about that. Because Umbreon looks cool, it looks cute, and it looks badass. Like, that's a perfect combination if you ask me. And every time I saw that Umbreon, I just got really giddy and happy with joy. And I loved watching that DVD so much. I literally rewatched it as much as I could when I was a kid. It was just so fun to watch and it was really entertaining. As soon as I found out that in Pokemon Platinum, you were able to get an Eevee, I made sure that I can get an Umbreon. I didn't know how, but I looked online to find out how you can get an Umbreon. And I found out that it was the only way to get it is to get it at max happiness and evolve it during the night. I worked so hard to get this Umbreon. My Eevee did die quite a few times, and I didn't know where the Soothe Bell was. And I didn't know it was able to raise your Eevee's friendship. But still, I managed to get my first Umbreon, and I loved using it. And I also have made quite a few competitive Umbreons in the past, and I'm actually thinking about getting a shiny competitive Umbreon. Mainly because I love Umbreon. And I'm pretty good at using it as well, because I have used it so many times. I've swept through so many opponents, it's unbelievable. Also, after I first used my first Umbreon, I had tried so hard to try and fit Umbreon onto my team. Like, there have been a handful of times where I wasn't able to fit Umbreon on the team, but I did try my best to fit on an Umbreon, because Umbreon can be so helpful when you're in a pinch, because not only can it take attacks, it can also dish them out if you teach it Payback. Payback specifically. Because what it does, it doubles the attack power. Basically, it's a 50 base power move. It gets to a 100 base if it was attacked first. Which means, if Umbreon gets attacked first, which it most likely will because it's the slowest out of all of them, you've basically got a guaranteed 100 base power stab move. And that, my friends, is OP. Not to mention, it can also learn all sorts of attacks that can also help it out. Like Baton Pass, Double Team, Toxic, and Sand Attack even. Like, so many moves that can actually support Umbreon and support the rest of your team. That's why I adore Umbreon. At number 8, we have Garchomp. Now, the first time I ever played a Pokemon game in the Sinnoh region, I found it really difficult to get past the first Elite Four member. Like, I will not lie to you, they were pretty challenging for someone who didn't really know type matchups that well. So, I decided to experiment a little bit. Do a bit of this, do a bit of that. I finally get to the champion. And to my surprise, it was Cynthia. Which I didn't know because I didn't really pay too much attention into Cynthia in the anime, because I didn't really know what a champion was then. But after playing the Pokemon game, I did then. And I battled her for the title. I managed to take down her Spiritomb fairly easily. And then the second Pokemon she brought out was a bloody Garchomp. And we all know how much we love Cynthia's Garchomp. As soon as Cynthia's Garchomp hit the field, it said, "Omae wa Mushindeu. And I said, Noonie. And then it goes, sweeping all of my team with one move alone. Literally, I had a full team of 6. I managed to defeat her Spiritomb without losing a single Pokemon. Garchomp hits the field, Dragon Rush, gone. Like, literally, it's like when Thanos came along and did the snap. It literally wiped out all of my members. Not one left. Not a single one. It didn't outspeed. It didn't land a single attack. All it did was die to Cynthia's Garchomp. And after seeing that, I did not want to face a Garchomp ever again. Then when I got Pokemon Platinum, I learnt that it's possible to capture a Gibble. I didn't know how, but I did some research, and then I caught my Gibble. Then, when it evolved into Garchomp, I swept everything with one hit. Literally. I was literally just Thanos Snap, Thanos Snap, Thanos Snap. Everything in my path. Like, it was just so easy. Like, literally, Garchomp was my MVP. Up until Cynthia. Then her Garchomp killed mine. But it was weak enough for me to take out with close combat from my Infernape. But still, it was really, really fun to use in that playthrough. Then when X and Y rolled along, guess what Pokemon I encountered when I finished the 4th gym battle and went straight to Lumio City? A wild Gibble. So I just throw an Ultra Ball at it. I caught it. And I swept through everything again. Literally, gone. Gone. Thanos Snap, gone. Garchomp is OP. Like, I love using Garchomp no matter where I use it. Like, in competitive, in casual play, literally anywhere I can use it, I use it. Because Garchomp is one of the most powerful Pokemon I have ever seen. At number 7, we have Metagross. Now, the first time I had ever seen a Metagross was actually in season 12 of Pokemon. I can't remember what it was called. Can't remember the name of it, but it was in the Sinnoh region again. And they actually came across a shiny Metagross. Team Rocket was trying to capture it for Giovanni, or at least James was. And I thought that looked awesome. I didn't realise it was a shiny at the time because I didn't know what shiny Pokemon were. I just thought it was just like some sort of Metagross they just like made for the anime and never touched it again. But, to my surprise, that is actually a shiny Metagross. So I had tried so long to find one. Never came across one since. And then, Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire rolls around. One of the events was a shiny Beldum holding the Metagrossite. I got my hands on that straight away, even though, at the time, I did complete the game. And I really wanted to use one for when I was doing a casual playthrough. But, since I had an action replay at the time, I actually managed to get at a shiny a level 1 shiny Beldum in Pokemon Black and White 2. Excuse me, guys. I just transferred it over to Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, stuck on the Metagross stone, and basically he just said, hey, it's the event. I did this on more than one occasion. But still, even without the shiny, Metagross is such a great Pokemon. Like, its design is awesome. It's basically rivaling a supercomputer. Not only that, it can tuck in its 4 legs and just hover around like some sort of UFO. Like, that is pretty cool if you ask me. Plus, I also really love its Mega Evolution. Yeah. Plus, not only that, it's extremely OP. Like, Media Mash, Zen Headbutt, Earthquake, and Ice Punch, you're going to destroy loads of people in your way. I speak from experience. I love Metagross, and as you can see, I love Metagross so much that I hacked in a shiny Beldum, well, level 1 shiny Beldum, transferred it to Oras, stuck on the Metagrossite, called it an event and shiny Pokemon, but hey, this shows how much I love my Metagross. At number 6, we have Dusk Form Lycanroc. Now, after Earth, Sun and Moon came out, I have always wanted to see what they could do if they fuse Midday and Midnight Form Lycanroc. Then, when Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon came out, I learned that you can get an event Rockruff which can transform into a Dusk Form Lycanroc, which is basically a fusion of Midday and Midnight Lycanroc. At the time, I screamed my head off with joy. After I had it on the team, I just got the Rockruff on the team, and after it evolved, and I trained it a little bit, and gave it a decent moveset, I basically swept, and I mean swept, every Pokemon that Dusk Form Lycanroc had encountered. Like, literally, my Dusk Form Lycanroc was so OP. Like, Stone Edge, Fire Fang, Zen Headbutt, and Drill Run. Can you name a more awesome moveset than that? And then when I completed the game and went to the battle tree, my Dusk Form Lycanroc did so well in the battle tree. Like, it basically one-shotted the majority of my opponents. Like, even with its signature Z move, like Splintered Storm Shard, I think it's called. Like, it went through so many people. Like, I'm fairly certain that this Dusk Form Lycanroc can easily be a candidate for a best team in Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon team member. Unfortunately, if I were to do that, I couldn't put it in because the event isn't around anymore. Like, if it was a permanent thing, I would happily put it on there. But since it was event, I can't do it. But what the best part about Dusk Form Lycanroc is, you are able to breed your Dusk Form Lycanroc, and the Rockruff that comes out of Dusk Form Lycanroc has the potential to evolve into another Dusk Form Lycanroc. Which means you can basically hand out the event like it's drugs. I'm kidding, don't do drugs. But still, you get what I mean. Like, you can literally just go and say, hey, have a Dusk Form Lycanroc. Have a Dusk Form Lycanroc. Here, let me give you a Dusk Form Lycanroc. It's just so fun. Like, I definitely think that this is one of the best, if not the best, event that Nintendo have done for the Pokemon community. At number 5, we have Zoroark. When I was younger, I was obsessed with the Zoroark Master of Illusions movie that came out. I literally watched that thing non-stop. And I'm pretty sure my family got a little bit annoyed when I was literally playing that movie back to back. But I was so into it, mainly because I loved Zorua and Zoroark. When Black and White came out, I tried my best to get the event Celebi, so that way I could get Celebi over to Black and White, and then get my Zorua. Unfortunately, I didn't know how to connect my DS to the internet, and neither did my parents. So unfortunately, we missed the event. And I remember I was so upset and so angry. I did not know what to do. But I actually saw on eBay that they do sell Zorua stuffed toys, or Zorua plushies, if you'd rather. And I begged my mum to get me it, and then after a little while, she got it for me. Unfortunately, it took longer than expected for us to actually get it, and I started being really upset and started crying my eyes out. So we asked for the refund and we got our money back. But then our next door neighbour came over saying there was a parcel that delivered to us while we weren't at the house. It was my Zorua plush, and literally after that, I cuddled that thing non-stop. Then when Black and White 2 came out, I actually saw in Driftvale City that someone had a Zorua. And then I was thinking to myself, please let me have it, please let me have it, please let me have it. And then when the conversation was, literally at the end of the conversation with this NPC, he just said to me, hey, want this Zorua that N owned? And I was like, hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Sorry about that. Still, you get the gist of it. I was so happy that I was able to use the Pokemon that I couldn't get in the previous game in this game. And literally, now, I literally, religiously, every time I play Pokemon Black and White 2, I always make sure to put that Zorua on my team. Because I love using Zoroark. Like, literally, it's so OP. Like, it's Night Daze, it's Dark Pulse, it's Flamethrower. Like, it can use so many moves from so different many types. And it can also learn some really OP Dark type moves as well. That's just a seal of approval to me. Plus, its design's badass. Like, and you can't even complain about its design. Like, you can't go wrong with it. At number 4, we have Aegislash. At first, I was one of those people that hated Aegislash because I thought its design was really, really stupid. Like, I was like, oh, it's just a Pokemon that has it's just a Pokemon that's a sword and a shield, like, bleh. But after Mystic Umbreon decided to put Aegislash on a best team, I decided, hey, why not try it out? Yeah, I pretty much swept every opponent, and like, after it got into the third gym leader, I think it was. Once I got to the third gym leader, knocked out all of her Pokemon, it evolved into Doublade. Got out to the fourth gym leader, Doublade knocked it all out in one hit. When we got to the sixth gym leader, knocked them all out with Iron Head. Then the next gym leader, knocked them out in one hit. Then the 8th gym leader, knocks him out in one hit. You get the gist. After that experience, I made sure that I added an Aegislash to my team. Literally, I do not go anywhere on X and Y without adding an Aegislash. Because it's pretty much the MVP of any and all teams. Plus, I may consider using it on Sun, Moon, Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, and Sword and Shield. But, hey, you never know what I'm going to do until I do it. I love using Aegislash so much. I tried to use it in the Battle All Maison in Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. I couldn't get at some of the most powerful Pokemon of all, even though I was using an Aegislash. And I thought to myself, maybe I should breed for max IVs, and I should probably give it a decent nature. So I tried to, and the first egg that hatched from that Honedge I got, it was a shiny Honedge. And then I was like, what the fuck? The funniest thing is, I have always wanted a shiny Aegislash because I thought its shiny form was badass. And as soon as I got it, I immediately evolved it into Doublade, and try to find a Dusk Zone so I can just evolve it into an Aegislash. And I still have it. I don't know which copy it's on. I don't know where it is, but I have it. And I love it. Like, I got such a strong bond with my Aegislash. Like, I could literally just go around and say, "What up, people? I'm using an Aegislash. It's got blood on it. Don't mess with me." Even though it doesn't have blood on it, it's just part of it shiny. But still, I love using this Aegislash. But there are a couple other members that I have a stronger attachment to than Aegislash. But it was pretty close. At number 3, we have Rayquaza. Now, when I first, in my younger years of being a Pokemon trainer, I didn't really think much of a Rayquaza. I just thought of Rayquaza as that badass, awesome Pokemon that I would never get to use because there weren't any games that I could get it easily in. Then, Omega Ruby came around. I pre-ordered it. I got it the day after release for some bizarre reason. Probably because the post was jacked up. And then I had the opportunity to get myself not only a Rayquaza, but its Mega Evolution. And I was so happy about that because I did secretly like Rayquaza. I just never had the chance of using it, but I've always wanted to. That was the best chance of me using a Rayquaza. I loved using it every single day. Like, literally, I try to use it in every single battle that I used, every single battle that I tried to use it in. It was just so fun to use. I used it in pretty much every single battle. It was so fun to use. But then I actually heard about a little secret event. There was a shiny Rayquaza that had the potential to Mega Evolve. I never knew what shiny Mega Rayquaza actually looked like. So I begged my mum to take me to Smith's Toy Superstores where they were giving out the codes. I managed to get myself some codes, and I got myself a shiny Rayquaza. It was literally the most powerful Pokemon I've ever seen, and the most badass Pokemon I've ever seen. I'll tell you, like, how much I love this Rayquaza. Do you remember, like, a few seconds ago where I told you I got a shiny Mega Rayquaza? I still have a first one I ever got on Sun and Moon, and it's destroying so many people while we speak. Because it's literally one of the strongest Pokemon I've ever owned. Like, I've even knocked out some of David's Pokemon that when we were younger. Like, I remember he wasn't a big fan of being on the receiving end of my shiny Rayquaza, but he also hated being on the opposite end of my Arceus. But still, excuse me, he hated being on the opposite end of my shiny Rayquaza because dead. Like, Thanos snap, Thanos snap, Thanos snap. You get the idea. Like, it was just so fun to use, and I also gave it an OP moveset, which means barely anybody has taken down my shiny Rayquaza. It's fun, but there are still 2 other Pokemon that I feel a stronger attachment to. At number 2, we have Ash Greninja. Now, I was obsessed with watching like the Cut Arlo sleeve because I loved watching Ash's Greninja. Like, I always knew that it was really, really special, but I didn't know how special because they decided to give Ash's Greninja a form that's pretty much exclusive only to him, which was pretty cool. And I loved watching it every time it went into battle because it was literally like, Omae wa Mashinda you. I love it. But I've always wanted to use it, but unfortunately at the time they didn't release it, but I was like, it's cool. I'll just stick to watching it in the anime. But then I discovered that they were doing a Sun and Moon demo version, which includes Ash Greninja, and you also had the opportunity to send that Greninja to your copy of Sun and Moon. I was really, really happy, and as soon as I heard about the demo version, I got it instantly. I'm fairly certain I got it the day it came out. I'm not sure. But still, it was really fun to play, even though I completed the demo version within less of an hour. I know. But still, it was fun to use. And as soon as I got the copy of Sun, I immediately... Well, not immediately, because unfortunately you could only get it after you defeated the first 2 Grand Trials. But the second after I completed my first 2 Grand Trials, I sent my Greninja to my copy of the game. And I pretty much used it to single-handedly wipe out the entire Pokemon game. It was fun. After that, I knew that this was destined to be in my top 10 favourite Pokemon. Like, it still is today. Like, my top 10 favourite Pokemon has changed very, very slightly, but it's not by much. I still love this thing to pieces. Like, I wish that I could transfer my Greninja from the demo version to other versions of Sun and Moon. I wish it wasn't just a one-time thing, because I really want to continue using Ash Greninja in playthroughs. Unfortunately, I'll never get the chance to, ever again, but it was fun to train. And I have to admit, it is actually in a team that I created to pretty much beat the most powerful team ever created. It's pretty much the MVP of my team. It's one of the 3 MVPs, actually. The 3 MVPs are Ash Greninja, Snorlax, and Mega Mawile. And for good reasons. Because Ash Greninja is one of the most powerful Pokemon there is. And that's why I really, really like it. Not only because of its power, but our bond that we shared throughout the demo version and the game. However, there's still 1 Pokemon left, and I'm sure you all guessed who it is. And finally, at number 1, we have Infernape. I'm sure everybody watching this video saw this coming. Infernape is my favourite Pokemon of all time, and I also feel a personal attachment to it. And I'm sure you know the reasons why, but I'm going to explain it to you again. The first ever episode that I actually watched of the Pokemon anime involved Ash's Chimchar, because it wasn't long before Ash actually caught Chimchar and they were on the road. Chimchar was finding it hard to adjust to Ash's living style because he was like used to Paul's living style, and he was basically pretty much abused. Not fun. And he didn't realise what love was. And I thought that was really, really heartbreaking. But after a while, it forgot about Paul, got over its old living style, and then adjusted to Ash's living style. And I definitely think that it was definitely my favourite Pokemon ever owned by Ash. Then when I got my first game based in the Sinnoh region, yes, I did pick Torterra. I regretted that decision because I didn't actually know that you could pick Chimchar. Like, I literally just picked a random Pokeball. I thought it was Turtwig. I picked it. Yeah. Worst decision of my life. Because I actually found out that Barry got the Chimchar that was also available. And I really, really wish I could go back, change it, and get that Chimchar. And after I saw it evolve into Infernape, yeah, and I also realised how weak my team was, I pretty much erased the data, went back, and picked up a Chimchar. And then I pretty much swept through the entire game. I'm not joking. Any game that Infernape is available in, I always make sure I get it. Like, Diamond and Pearl, Infernape. Platinum, Infernape. Oras, Infernape. I haven't used it in Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon for obvious reasons, but I have been considering using basically doing a playthrough of Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon where I only, and I mean only, use Fire-type Pokemon. If you think I should, let me know down in the comment section below, because I am definitely considering it. Still, the bottom line is, any Pokemon game that Infernape was available, I always made sure to get it. Because I love Infernape so much. I wish that we could bring Pokemon to life. That way, I could try to befriend a Chimchar or Monferno or Infernape. Then we could go around and be best friends, because I really, really want to be an Infernape's friend in real life. I know that isn't possible, but I wish it was, because I love Infernape. And there you have it, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video as much as I did, and be sure to let me know down in the comment section below if you agree with any of the Pokemon I put on this list, or if you have any Pokemon that you have a personal attachment to. Also, guys, be sure to keep in mind that I actually am going to do a B-Day Q&A on the 15th of February, because that's my birthday. So please let me know down in the comments section below what you want to ask me, and be sure to leave the hashtag B-Day Q&A. Remember that. If you want to leave a question, you can leave as many questions as you like, just as long as you include the hashtag B-Day Q&A. If you enjoyed this video as much as I did, be sure to give it a massive thumbs up, comment down below, share the video with a friend, and if you're new, subscribe to my channel. It's been Inferno today. Okay, that's all from me, so until the next time, this is Infernape, signing off. Bye!